information out tonight from the CDC. They say Kansas deer are testing positive for zombie deer.
It's a deadly disease found in several states across the U.S., and it could also spread to humans. KSNT News reporter Dan Garrett has been talking to experts about this bizarre disease. He joins us now live from the Kansas Department of Wildlife in downtown Topeka to explain what it does to the deer. Dan?
Brooke, Jace, experts here are studying chronic waste disease, or zombie deer disease. It essentially puts holes in the animal's brain and spinal cord, and it's spreading from the north and is deadly to any deer that catches it. Drew Forster owns Farview Farms Meat Company. This outbreak of zombie deer in Kansas concerns him because customers bring in deer that they've killed to get them processed. He says now that more and more cases of the deadly deer disease have been found in Kansas, it's not a matter of if it will affect his business, but when.
And it's kind of inched its way closer this way, it's coming down from the north and in from the west. Eventually we will have the issue here, and that will affect how we process meat.
The problem is, if a deer becomes infected, it could take years before it shows any signs. But there's problems even in trying to prevent humans from eating an infected deer. Ron Kaufman with the Department of Wildlife says that's because zombie deer is hard to spot.
They are usually emaciated. They may be salivating, they may stumble, they may be disoriented, may be weak.
The disease spreads from deer to deer by eating and drinking in the same spots. The CDC says there's no known cases of humans being infected with the disease, so it is not known how it can impact a person. Given how it affects deer, they don't want to find out.
We already have to keep track of the county where the animal comes from so that we know whether it came from a possible CWD county or not.
While the disease is predominantly only impacting western Kansas, it could be more prevalent in the northeast part of the state in just a couple years. If you hunt a deer and would like to get it tested, you could send a sample to the K-State Diagnostic Laboratory and they will check to see if it's okay to eat. Live in downtown Topeka, Dan Garrett, KSNT News.
All right, thank you, Dan. And along with testing the deer meat, the CDC has a few other suggestions for hunters.
Experts say wearing gloves when handling the deer meat is really important. They also recommend using knives or utensils that you don't use in your home. And when you go out and get your meat processed, the CDC says you can ask for each animal to be processed separately so there isn't any risk of cross-contamination.